Hey YouTube, what's up? This is LibThems coming at you with our third video installment of Human Chemistry 101. That was a nice video by Velvet, Swedish pop singer named Michelle or Jenny Peterson. And according to her, she feels the chemistry. So today we're going to answer the question, is love a purely chemical reaction? Asked by Jason, a 7-year-old guy from Glenside, Weldon, Pennsylvania. The answer that Jason got to his question was answered by Tamara. She's a veterinarian, lives in Illinois, but she's interested in physics, so she contributes the answer to the physics fan. She answers, no, I don't think so. There are certainly chemical elements involved in the physical attraction between two people, pheromones and hormones, but scientists are hard-pressed to find a physiological basis for any emotion, especially love. It's not to say that the basis couldn't be out there, but we're nowhere close to figuring it out yet. So for the time being, this is more a question in the realm of philosophy than science, but I think you could ask anyone who has ever been in love and they'd probably agree that there's something more to it than simple chemistry. So there's Tamara's answer, and she's probably doing it with all good intentions, but we're going to put up the correct answer so that everyone out there 7 years old, age 7-15 can get the straight scoop on the situation. Alright, so we just saw an answer from Tamara McCardle. She's a veterinarian who's done research in genetic modeling and cancer prevention, and she's connected with the physics department at the University of Illinois at Champaign-Urbana. So according to Tamara, or generally the physics department at University of Illinois, love is not a chemical reaction. Now, if you check out some of the newsstands over the last few decades, you might see a different picture. According to Time magazine, February 1993, it looks like there's a chemistry to love. Similarly, 2006, The Atlantic magazine states that there's a science to love, talking about how the online dating services are making a new science out of matching people. Similarly, in 2006, National Geographic boldly declares that love is a chemical reaction. And just within the last few months, Time magazine came out with another cover story article, January of this year, The New Science of Romance. Okay, so there we saw a few answers from some of the magazines over the last 2 decades. According to Time, National Geographic, and The Atlantic, looks like love is a chemical reaction. But as we all know, magazines aren't always correct. So let's take a look at what some of the experts in the field of love have to say on the topic. Now, those who've actually written books and done research on love, there's only 2 people who claim to be leading experts on this topic of love, or actually the world's leading experts. One is Pepper Schwartz. She's a sociology professor at University of Washington. Second is Helen Fisher. She's an anthropologist at Rutgers University in New York. They both run top 4 dating websites, and they've both written books on the subject of relationships. Top 4 dating websites in 2008. Number 1 is Perfect Match, run by Pepper Schwartz. She's got her 2006 book out, Finding Your Perfect Match. Number 2 is Yahoo Personals. Number 3 is Match.com. That's basically run by Phil McGraw. Number 4 is Chemistry.com. That's run by Helen Fisher. She has a number of books out. First one was the Sex Contract, written in 1982. That was her original book. She had the 1992 The Anatomy of Love. This is a core book if you're doing research on the underpinnings of love from the scientific view. And then she's got the 2004 Why We Love, The Nature and Chemistry of Romantic Love. So let's take a look at what Pepper Schwartz has to say on the subject of chemistry. According to Schwartz, people are too complex to be able to completely cover every aspect of the personality that is important in mate selection. And she states, nor can I adequately factor how chemistry will affect any given emotional connection. So basically, love is not a chemical reaction according to Pepper Schwartz. Helen Fisher, on the other hand, she runs chemistry.com, so you might expect for her to believe that love is a chemical reaction. Let's take a look at a video clip of Helen Fisher.
Thank you for this presentation. Could you define what is love?
Well, I think we've evolved three distinctly different brain systems for mating and reproduction. One is the sex drive. One is romantic love, that intense craving for a very particular person. And the third is attachment, that sense of calm and security you can feel for a long-term partner. And I think they evolved for different reasons. I think the sex drive evolved to get you out there looking for a whole range of partners. I think romantic love evolved to enable you to focus your mating energy on just one and start the mating process. And I think that attachment evolved so that you could tolerate this person at least long enough to raise your children together as a team. So we've got three brain systems for love.
So there's Helen Fisher's answer. And when hard-pressed with the question, surely you're not saying you can predict chemistry, she answers, no one can predict exactly who becomes electrified by whom, and that there will always be magic to love. So you're going to go to chemistry.com, fork up $30 a month because Helen Fisher supposedly knows the magic. Now this is where the difficulty of having an anthropologist run a chemistry matching website comes in. Trained chemists and chemistry historians have known for over 200 years very well how to predict who reacts with whom or becomes electrified by whom. The first to pioneer this science was French chemist Etienne Geoffroy, who developed what are called affinity tables. So let's take a look at this affinity table. Each one of these entities in the table can be considered as a chemical species, or in modern terms, molecules. Or in the view of German polymath Johann von Goethe, who wrote the 1809 book Collective Affinities, each one of these entities could be considered as a person. So the top row are called the heterospecies, and all the species below it are arranged according to affinity preference, with the bottom species having the least amount of affinity with the top species. So for instance, if the top species was in a bonded union with the bottom species, a second row species could be introduced into the system, thus displacing the bottom species and forming a chemical union, a new chemical union with the top species. And this would all be due to the affinity preferences of the reactants.